If you're going to do it in the garden, do it in the month of June. Anything and everything can be done in the garden this month. This is the Front Range Gardener with 5 things that you can do in your garden in June. Anything and everything can be planted in June. In the Front Range, frosts are behind us. Yet temperatures are mild, so planting now will minimize transplant shock, and roots can establish before the heat of summer. This is the end of spring planting season for perennials. If you can't finish your planting in June, wait until September or October for your perennial planting. This is the ideal time to plant containers and beds of annuals. The selection of annuals at your local nursery peaks this month. June is the month to finally get your warm season crops into the ground. Even though your last frost was probably in May, the nights in May are too cool for heat-loving plants like tomatoes and zinnias to thrive. The growing season in Colorado is so short that you will want to start your warm season plants indoors or buy starts from your local nursery. There just isn't enough time to direct sow seeds for plants that take 100 days to produce. Sunflowers bring magnificent colors to your garden in late summer. They're also good for attracting the birds and the bees. No, not those birds and bees. These birds and these bees. If you like learning about the birds and the bees, be sure to like this video. If you want more of these appalling jokes, subscribe to my channel. Sunflowers are incredibly easy to grow from seed. June is the perfect month to direct sow sunflower seeds into your garden. You can buy a seed packet, or you can harvest your sunflower seeds once the seed heads develop in fall. Make a hole 1/4 inch deep. Take the seed and stick it in the hole. Cover the hole and be sure to water thoroughly. You may need to stake up the sunflower stalks. In about 2 months, you can enjoy your sunflowers along with the birds and the bees. Conifers like pines, spruces, and firs have an annual growth spurt in late spring. You can see candles of new growth at this time of year. This makes June the perfect month to prune these conifers for shape. There are 2 ways to prune these conifers: formal and informal. Formal pruning creates a more structured, smoother shape. Informal pruning leads to a more natural look while still controlling the shape of the plant. I use both methods in my landscape. I'm going to use formal pruning for this mugo pine. I'm using head shears to cut through the new growth to give the mugo pine a more rounded shape. Formal pruning also encourages bushier growth. I love the shape of this beautiful globe blue spruce. It needs very light pruning to keep its form. For this informal pruning, I'm using my bypass pruners. I'm looking for any stems that are growing too long for the overall shape of the tree. Cut these stems back to a side branch. On this spruce, that is only a few inches. Take this opportunity to cut dead and damaged branches. Cutting dead and damaged branches is the only pruning you should do for conifers in their first year after planting. Do an annual pruning of your ornamental conifers and they will look great all year. The 3 largest wildfires in Colorado history burned our forests in 2020. But it was the Marshall Fire of December 2021 that showed suburban residents that wildfire preparation is important to them too. The Colorado State Forest Service published recommendations for homeowners to protect property and structures from fire damage. There is a link to their preparation guide in the description. For the landscape gardener, there are critical things you can do to improve the survivability of your home. From 0 to 5 feet from structures is Zone 1. This is the most crucial zone for fire protection. Remove all flammable vegetation, fallen leaves, pine needles from this zone. Zone 2 extends from 5 to 30 feet from the home. In this zone, we want to stop grass fires from spreading into the canopy of trees. If a fire does spread into a tree canopy, we want it isolated so it does not spread. There are 3 main strategies to employ. First is to cut grasses to no higher than 4 inches. Second is to remove shrubs from underneath trees. And third is to remove the lower branches of trees from 6 to 10 feet off of the ground. This is just the start of fire mitigation, but preparation could save your home in a wildfire. May and June are the peak growing months for lawns in the Front Range. Maintenance is important for a healthy lawn. Periodic mowing keeps the lawn looking good. Most homeowners mow once a week. That's a pretty good schedule. But this time of year, you might even mow every 5 days. Set your mower for a height of 2.5 to 3 inches. In my experience, bluegrass lawns look best at a height of 2.5 inches, and fescue lawns look best at 3. When you mow, cut no more than 1/3 of the height of the grass. If you fertilized your lawn in April, it's time for another fertilizer application in June. Lawns can be a lot of work, but they can provide active places in your landscape, and a well-maintained lawn looks great. There is nothing you can't do in the garden in June. Try it, and you will have very happy gardening.